Well, folks, it all comes down to this. Season 25 is almost in the books, but we have one piece of unfinished business, and that goes down tonight. It's the Super Bowl for Season 25 between two of the dominant teams of this cycle. It's the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers, the two commissioners going head-to-head. Because after today, it's a whole new ball game. The Season 25 Super Bowl starts right now.
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down.
You are watching the leaders in full immersion gaming, and this is the pregame show only on the NBL Network.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the biggest show of the NBL season. It is the Season 25 Super Bowl between two of the dominant dynasties here in the Madden 17 cycle. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Detroit Lions. Before we get to that, we got to get to our pregame show. That's brought to you each and every week by our graphic sponsor, Web3KS.com. They do that overlay here on NBL Live. A ton of other graphics for us across the board. They're also a sponsor on our Madden 18 EA Access Tournament. Big shout out to all business over at Web3KS.com. If you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to Web3KS.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. Thanks for hanging out with us, folks. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, it's the Season 25 Super Bowl. We've gone through so many games, weeks and weeks of action, and it all comes down to two teams I think everybody thought might have a chance of getting here at the end of the year.
Yeah, and when you look at it, is there really a better way to end this cycle off? We've got the two teams we saw in the very first Super Bowl of this cycle here to close it out. Two teams that have dominated all year here at the apex of NBL, and I'm excited for it. And honestly, looking over at you on that camera, looks like you're ready to go out after maybe party a little bit, celebrate.
I don't know about that. All I know is that I had to dress up a little bit. Had to be nice. This is a big show. We got a lot of people tuning in today, and we got to look snappy here on the NBL Live pregame show and during this NBL Live game. Now, before we get to the game, we got to reveal the top 10 of our NBL top 25 players of the Madden 17 cycle. This is a very exciting time. Everybody's anxious to find out who made this top 10, both Madden created players and, of course, real life players. So let's just start it off at number 10. It's Vaughn Reed, the running back, had his formative years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Vaughn Reed, what a group of running backs the Jacksonville Jaguars have produced. This year, Dion Neblett having a great year, breaking the NBL single season rushing record. Vaughn Reed, he was the Season 24 MVP, Sonny. This guy, he was a stud. I mean, part of it, you got to give credit to the Jacksonville offensive line, but Vaughn Reed, one of the quickest feet out there, and he certainly deserves a spot in the top 10.
Vaughn Reed, one of the dynamic backs of NBL. Like you talked about, the Jacksonville Jaguars just seemed to churn them out. Kind of reminds me of the Shanahan era and what he did out in Denver and then took with him when he went to Washington. But nonetheless, this guy, Vaughn Reed, was one of the best to ever come across NBL, winning the MVP just a few short seasons ago. And I definitely think this guy deserves to be in the top 10.
Yeah, Vaughn Reed, absolute stud. Season 24 MVP just last season. And Jacksonville just, as we said, churns out running backs this year. Dion Neblett broke that single-season rushing record and just kept climbing. He broke that in Week 16, so really demolished that record. Let's see who's coming in at number 9. And it's going to be one of the first of the Detroit Lions. This one is one of their star wide receivers, Whistler Ridgeway, a guy who's been really grown by the Detroit Lions. This guy coming in at number 9. Part of that two-headed monster, Ridgeway and DeGear. And Ridgeway, 7,300 receiving yards, 73 touchdowns. And Sonny, what's all the more impressive about this is Ridgeway has had to play in a receiving corps with targets like Gilbert DeGear, Steven Katula, Eric Ebron. He still managed to get 7,300 yards and find the end zone 73 times.
Whistler Ridgeway, the original kind of overpowered OG Detroit Lion wide receiver. He started it all. Steven Katula leaves for Carolina in the last offseason. He still stands there with DeGear, but nonetheless, Ridgeway kind of stood out. I think, in my opinion, over the rest, the guy always was where he needed to be, Matthew Stafford's favorite target, and a guy who I think will go down as one of the best to ever put on the uniform for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, hard to see the Detroit Lions without these very talented wide receivers. This year, he had 1,400 yards with no more Stephen Katulla and 16 touchdowns. He comes in at number 9. And again, folks, we'll be revealing numbers 5 through 1 during our halftime show, so be sure to stick around for that one. Got a lot of great things on that halftime show. At number 8, let's go into the trenches. It is Tyron Smith of the Dallas Cowboys. This Dallas Cowboys offensive line, one of the best in the NBL, probably the best. And as people have been starting to look at those Madden 18 ratings, you look into Madden 18, the Cowboys continue to be the top of the echelon for offensive lineman. He was voted best offensive lineman. And Sonny, this is a guy who's blocked for Ezekiel Elliott. He's blocked for Dak Prescott, Kevin Womack, and really, this offensive line continues to make Ezekiel Elliott look good by creating such big openings for him to run through.
Tyron Smith, not many have done it better as far as left tackles here in NBL. The guy always protecting the blind side. Ezekiel Elliott, Kevin Womack, Dak Prescott, you named them all. Guys that have had really big careers in NBL can all point to this guy and thank him for keeping them clean. I know we're going to see Dak Prescott tonight. Dak Prescott wouldn't be where he is today without the help of Tyron Smith.
Yeah, that offensive line playing great as a unit, and Smith really the leader of that unit. He was fantastic, the best left tackle I think in the NBL. Deserves to be in the top 10, coming in at number 8. Let's go to number 7, and Sonny, you're very familiar with this guy. It is William Jackson III, cornerback for your Cincinnati Bengals. And this guy, absolute stud, especially in the pass game, finds a way to get to the ball. He not only had a lot of interceptions coming in with 31 interceptions over his career, he's a 6-time Pro Bowler, and he's a guy that made plays even when he wasn't coming down with the interceptions, whether it's deflecting the ball or forcing receivers to drop the ball by laying big hits. This is a guy I know that you, having had him on your team, know how important he is to your defense, playing against those great offenses in the AFC North.
You know, William Jackson's the quintessential team player here in Cincinnati. We love this guy. We go out, we draft Tani Iwabima. We move Jackson down to the number 2 slot, but that didn't matter to him. Still a leader in that secondary. Secondary at times did have its struggles, but they always came up big in big moments, and William Jackson probably has most of those big moments.
Yeah, William Jackson III. Again, you got to play the Pittsburgh Steelers twice a year, team that you're going to see tonight in the Super Bowl. They are a high-powered offense, not to mention the Browns and the Ravens, very improved offenses. So William Jackson III coming in at number 7. The last one we're going to reveal here on the pregame show is somebody you're also going to see tonight. It's Leylon Alston, running back, formative years with the New Orleans Saints, now with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and this guy is just a straight beast with the ball in his hands. 5,900 rushing yards, 56 touchdowns. He was the Rookie of the Year and the MVP when he came out of college, going into the New Orleans Saints, a team, Sonny, that is usually known for airing it out, especially, with Drew Brees. They've had some great wide receivers over the years, Marcus Colston, but once Leylon Alston got there, they really went to the ground game, and this guy showed how important he is to whatever team he's on.
Alston, one of the best running backs we've seen in any cycle of NBL. The guy can just make guys miss. He breaks tackles. Not a big guy, but powerful guy. You're going to see him tonight. He's going to be a big part of this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, I believe, tonight, both catching the ball and running the ball out of the backfield. When you think about the New Orleans Saints and some of the runs they have made in NBL, it all starts with this guy. They went as far as he could carry them.
And Leylon Alston tonight is going to be on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers looking to get a Super Bowl ring. And that's going to do it for 10 through 6 of the NBL top 25 players. The 2017 Madden cycle will be revealing the top 5 and who that number 1 player is. I think a lot of people have in their mind who it might be. We'll be revealing that during the halftime show of this Super Bowl, so stick around for that. We got a great halftime show planned for you. Now, Sonny, you don't know about this. We've got one more announcement. It is you're a winner of this award yourself, the Achievement in Media Excellence Award. It's given out every year to the person that I, as the network director, feel has contributed the most or maybe the most valuable member of our media team for this particular season. And in season 25, we're giving it to Mr. Kyle Matt Miller, a.k.a. Slow Surrender, coming in season 25, Achievement in Media Excellence Award. Sonny, you know how important this guy is to our media team. He does a ton of graphics for us. He did every graphic for that NBL top 25 players of the cycle, sort of came in and took the graphics world by storm, and he's been an invaluable member of this team.
Kyle Matt Miller, aka the Flat Killer.
Also, those crazy eyes. This guy. He's got the crazy eyes.
Yeah, I like that picture. I think, may give me nightmares, but we'll see about that one. Kyle has been an invaluable member of the team since he's came on here. This season especially, I know he's living proof that guys get a chance to redeem themselves and they end up stepping up. Very proud of Kyle. I'm very happy with the things he's done for NBL.
Yeah, so congratulations to Kyle, the Season 25 Achievement in Media Excellence Award winner. All right, let's get to the game everybody is here for. It's the Season 25 Super Bowl, the last game we have here in the Madden 17 cycle. It's between the Detroit Lions and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's look at two players to watch. And first, on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Sonny, a guy I know you hate to play against, but you respect his talent, and I know you were a little irked as to where he came in the top 25. Martavis Bryant, 66 catches on the year, over 1,300 yards, 10 touchdowns, and he put on an absolute show in the conference championship game with a touchdown through the air and a touchdown on the ground. This guy is really what I think was probably the best wide receiver in the NBL right now, especially with what he did in the AFC Championship.
Yeah, Marty B, they love him in Pittsburgh. I love to watch this guy play anytime he's not playing the Cincinnati Bengals because, man, does that one hurt. This guy can get over the top. He can work underneath. We saw it in the AFC Championship game. He even ran the ball a couple times. Watch for him to line up in every position on the field. Slot, outside, left, right, doesn't matter. This guy is going to get open. For the Detroit Lions, they've got to find a way to slow him down, and Darius Slay may be the guy to do that.
On the flip side, I know it's another one of your players, Sonny. It's Matthew Stafford. He's been at the helm throughout this cycle for the Detroit Lions. He's already got a Super Bowl ring, and he has been stellar this season, completing 68% of his passes, almost 5,000 yards, a quarterback rating of 109.5, 37 touchdowns through the air. Sonny, you have consistently been one of his biggest critics, but you got to admit he's got the Lions to another Super Bowl and has a chance to put another ring on his finger.
No, I have been Matthew Stafford's biggest critic here. What I will say, though, is people talk about Matt Ryan being Matty Ice, and I say no to that. Matthew Stafford is, in fact, Matty Ice. The guy is cool, calm, and collected under pressure. He just scans that defense. He finds the holes. You'll see it tonight. I expect Matthew Stafford to have a big game tonight against the poorest Pittsburgh Steelers secondary.
And that's where we get to where we are now. We are about ready to send it out to the game, but we got to get your predictions, Sonny. I mean, this is an interesting matchup. Two of the high-powered offenses in the NBL and our two commissioners here in the NBL. Bragging rights are on the line, Sonny. Who do you like? Are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to get yet another Super Bowl ring? Or the Detroit Lions going to get one more after their Season 21 triumph over the Pittsburgh Steelers? Are they going to put one more Super Bowl ring on and walk off Madden 17 into the sunset with a championship?
I just talked about the man himself, Matthew Stafford. He's going to go for a lot of yards tonight against this Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, but one thing I've noticed is they struggle to score in the red zone. They kick a lot of field goals, and I think that's actually going to come back to bite them in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Pittsburgh Steelers 28-21 to win the Super Bowl.
Wow, this matchup, third Super Bowl between the Steelers and Lions in this cycle. The series is tied at 1-1, so this is the rubber match in Madden 17. And we're ready to get you to the game, folks. I'm pumped. I hope you are. Coming up right now, it is the battle for the Madden 17 final Super Bowl here in Season 25. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions. Only one can be crowned champ, and it's coming up right now here on NBL Live.
My name is Rex Dixon.
Jake Stein.
Clint from EA Sports.
You're watching NBL.
You're watching the NBL Network. And you're watching the MBLN Network.
Empty backfield for Atkins. He's going to be dropping back to pass here on fourth down. He's looking deep over the middle. He has a man. It's Brandon Cooks. Who catches it? Makes a man miss.
Oh, that's
Woodard is dropping back. He's got open over the middle.
Wow.
That big playmaker ability as he finds him again.
Into the end zone. Another touchdown. A champion will be crowned tonight, folks. The final game of the Madden 17 cycle goes down right now. It's a battle between two of the powerhouses here in the NBL. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Detroit Lions, the number 1 and 2 offense going against each other here in the Super Bowl. Thanks for hanging out with us. Everybody tuning in here to NBL Live. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver. Sonny, let's take a look at these two teams before we get started. First, on the side of the Detroit Lions, a very depleted team, lots of injuries. No Eric Ebron, no Miles Killebrew, no Hausler, no Streeter on the defensive side of the ball. Which one of those guys do you think is going to be missed the most as they go up against this Pittsburgh Steelers team?
Well, I think Miles Killebrew is the guy to watch. Hausler and Streeter and the linebackers do come into play as this running attack from the Pittsburgh Steelers is much improved. But when you talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, you got to look to the secondary and see how you're going to slow down Dak Prescott.
The Super Bowl is underway. 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dak Prescott under center. Leylon Alston in the backfield. He's going to get the ball to start this game. He'll get a couple right up the middle. Give him 4 yards up to the 29-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and 6. On the flip side, Sonny, interesting stat that was brought into the NBL Live newsroom. Dak Prescott, if he loses today, will drop to 0-4 in NBL Super Bowls. How much pressure is on Prescott tonight?
Well, there's a lot of pressure here on Dak Prescott tonight. He does not want to go down 0-4. The Buffalo Bills of NBL quarterbacks, not what he wants to be.
Handoff to Alston on 2nd and 6, and a lot of room right up the middle. Going to the 39-yard line, 10 yards on that play, and I think the Detroit Lions early in this game are feeling the sting of not having some of their defensive leaders, namely Hausler and Streeter, right in the middle.
And what's interesting coming into this game, there have been some talk that the Detroit Lions run defense is a little bit suspect. I think we're trying to see Pittsburgh test that out here early in this game.
1st and 10 shotgun formation for Prescott. He'll be throwing the ball for the first time. Toss it underneath. It is complete to Michael Dyer going down to the 47-yard line. Give him 8 yards on that play. Nice pitch and catch to get Prescott in a little bit of a rhythm. This Detroit Lions defense, no slouch, number 6 in the NBL.
No slouch, but undermanned, like you just said. Now we're seeing them expose. They're attacking those linebackers where we normally would see Streeter and Hausler. Instead, we've got backups in there. That looks to be the game plan coming in tonight.
Dak Prescott coming out 2nd and 2, ball on the 47-yard line, shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers out there for Prescott, 2 over to the right side, 1 to left. Leylon Alston in the backfield as he changes up the play, surveying the Detroit Lions defense. So with Prescott dropping back to pass, corner blitz coming, he gets it off and completes it to Martavis Bryant, catches it at the 50-yard line, give him 4 yards and a first down on that play, and you can see right there with pressure in his face how much Dak Prescott trusts Martavis Bryant.
Well, he trusts him a lot, and he needed to there because he tried to thread the needle between 2 defenders. Bryant was in a lot of traffic there. There was actually another Steeler wide receiver there, so I'm not sure if something kind of got hung up on the play, but nonetheless, Dak Prescott does convert that first down.
And now the Pittsburgh Steelers have moved right to the midfield. Detroit looking to get a big stop here. 1st and 10 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Shotgun formation again for Dak Prescott. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Leylon Alston in the backfield. Prescott dropping back to pass. Blitz coming. It is picked up. He tosses it underneath to the running back, Alston, at the 45-yard line. Give him 5 yards on that play. I'll give him a short 6, 2nd and 4. And you can see an early effort by the Detroit Lions to stave off the deep ball. Pittsburgh loves to throw deep, especially to their quick targets, Martavis Bryant and Caleb Hayden. 2nd and 4, handoff to Alston. Big hole over the left side up to the 36-yard line. Another first down for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense, who's given the ball to the former league MVP a lot early.
Well, and I want to go back 2 plays on that throw by Prescott. Pressure coming to his blind side. The guard actually not blocking anyone, slides across the formation, picks up the blitzer, and that's what lets him get it off. That line play is going to be big here tonight for the Pittsburgh Steelers to win.
1st and 10, Prescott under center. Play action pass rolling out. He's going to look over to the right side, and it is an incomplete pass. He found Michael Dyer, but Dyer took a hit as he caught that ball and put it on the ground. Dyer, usually sure-handed, plays in the slot for the Pittsburgh Steelers. That time, though, Detroit Lions defense too much.
Great job there by the cornerback to make up the ground and knock that ball out. Steady play so far by Detroit Lions defense.
4 wide receivers for Prescott on 2nd and 10. He hands it to Leylon Alston, cuts it back up the middle. Lions able to get a stop there. Only 3 yards for Alston. It's going to bring up a big 3rd and 7. And Sonny, one of the dangers of this Pittsburgh Steelers team, you play too close to the line, you put too many men in the box, they'll just throw it right over top.
Yeah, they're setting it up for later on. Watch that as we progress through the night.
4 wide receivers for Prescott, 2 to each side. Alston in the backfield. Prescott switching up the play here. Big 3rd and 7. Ball on the 33-yard line. Prescott dropping back to pass. Corner blitz coming. He throws it over top. Finds Caleb Hayden at the 10-yard line. Give him 23 yards. Sonny, we talked about Martavis Bryant in the pregame, but a healthy Caleb Hayden is a huge key for this Pittsburgh Steelers offense.
Caleb Hayden is kind of the Robin to Martavis Bryant's Batman, and we're going to see a lot of him here tonight.
1st and goal, Prescott throwing it here, and he's going to get hit, and he's going to go down, sacked by Callaway, 8-yard loss for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and Sonny is the first Super Bowl edition of the Sonny Weaver splash play.
Yeah, and the splash plays are going to be big. 2 very good offenses. It's going to come up to which defense can get some pressure on the quarterback.
2nd and goal, 4 wide receivers once again. Prescott dropping back to pass. Looks like he's setting up a screen for Alston. Blocking is over there. Does he have enough? Shake and bake, but he runs into his own blockers. He's going to go down at the 4-yard line. A nice gain there for Leylon Alston out of the pass game, but it looked like he might have had an opportunity to punch that one in the end zone.
So some bad vision downfield. If he would have made one more guy just miss, break to the outside, rather his own guy miss, he would be in the end zone right now. Alston hopefully can redeem himself here on 3rd and goal.
Hey, big shout out in the chat to one of our good friends in the YouTube community, Uber YouTuber. Appreciate you tuning in, and he's going to be participating in our Madden 18 EA Access tournament. So excited to see you here, Uber. Appreciate all the support you give the NBL. 3rd and goal. It's a toss play, and it's going to go into the end zone. We have our first touchdown of the NBL Super Bowl. And I believe that one was the other Alston, Will Alston, coming into the game on 3rd down. He takes the toss play, and the Pittsburgh Steelers drive right down the field and get an early 7-0 lead.
Yeah, the other Alston. Interesting move there to pull out Leylon for his often disregarded Alston on
his
the
Alston
depth chart.
Counterpart.
His Alston doppelganger, I guess. But one thing to keep in mind is Leylon has had some issues with fumbling the ball throughout this season. I wonder if it's more about ball security and making sure there aren't turnovers early in this game.
Well, now we get to see the number 2 offense come out, only behind the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is the Detroit Lions, led as usual by Matthew Stafford. As you can see, the number 1 passing offense in the NBL. Number 22 rushing offense, a lot of that due to the fact they just don't run the ball a whole lot with Bubba Dillon. They want to air the ball out, and on 1st and 10, 3 wide receivers out there for Matt Stafford. He'll be dropping back to pass here on 1st down. Looks over to the right side. It is an incomplete pass and a dangerous throw. Gilbert DeGear, back from injury in just a week ago, comes into the game, takes a big hit on the first pass play. It's an incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Patrick Peterson there in coverage lays a big hit after the reception, knocking the ball out, and he's going to be one to watch lined up over top Ridgeway and DeGear on that right side.
P squared can still lay the lumber. 2nd and 10. Play action pass. Stafford looking over to the right side for DeGear again, who catches it. He puts the ball on the ground, and it's recovered by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Patrick Peterson, welcome to the NBL Super Bowl. And if you're the Detroit Lions, the last thing you want to do is turn the ball over and give the Pittsburgh Steelers a Sonny Weaver splash play.
And once again, we see that splash play for all of our new viewers tonight. A splash play as defined here by Sonny Weaver, me, is any play from the defensive side of the ball that either forces a turnover or is a sack, basically taking them out of their rhythm here on offense.
Big throw over the middle to the tight end, Shable. He catches at the 23-yard line. And here in the Super Bowl, Sonny, we know how good this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is. How big is it that the Detroit Lions commit the first turnover and early in this game?
Ball control is huge in this game, and security for the ball is paramount if you want to win this game. So far, Pittsburgh's winning that.
Shotgun formation. Prescott dropping back to pass here on 1st and 10, rolling out to the left side. He has a man. It's complete to Dyer, who's into the end zone. 2 plays. That's how potent this Pittsburgh Steelers offense is, as Michael Dyer goes into the end zone. Dak Prescott throwing his first touchdown of the NBL Super Bowl, and Pittsburgh storms out to a 14-0 lead.
And we've seen this before with Pittsburgh. Don't forget, we did see this in the AFC Championship game. When Pittsburgh gets rolling, they're hard to stop. So this will be a big drive from Detroit. No matter what you do, you better take some time off this clock, and you better put some points on the board, or else this one could get ugly quick.
Yeah, this could get ugly quick. We saw the Pittsburgh Steelers in that AFC Championship game. They scored in all 3 phases of the game in that first half, with the opening kickoff being taken back for a touchdown and also a pick six, 21-0. Before you know it, and Pittsburgh ran away with that one over the Kansas City Chiefs. They're looking to do the same here against Detroit. As on 1st and 10, he finds Whistler Ridgeway over the middle. down to the 45-yard line. Nice pass by Matt Stafford, and there's the second half of this two-headed monster, Whistler Ridgeway's first catch of the day.
Good throw there by Matthew Stafford. He splits the cornerback, Artie Burns, and the safety, Sean Davis. Gets it right there to Ridgeway where he needs to be and gets it for a first down.
And again, folks, stick with us. We'll have that NBL Super Bowl halftime show. We'll be announcing the top 5 players of the cycle and announcing one more award. The game of the year here for season 25 is on 1st and 10. Stafford finds Bubba Dillon out of the backfield up to the 38-yard line. And we're starting to see why this Detroit Lions offense is the number 2 in the NBL. Like the Pittsburgh Steelers, they like to score, and they like to score quickly.
Yeah, often forgotten Bubba Dillon out of the backfield making a play there. We'll see him throughout the night, getting an occasional carry here or there. But really, this Detroit Lions offense runs through the passing game. More of short and intermediate passes they use to supplement the running attack. But Dillon will have his moments in this game where he picks up a couple big first downs.
Yeah, 1st and 10 now for the Detroit Lions. They've moved into enemy territory. Ball on the 38-yard line. It's going to be a handoff to Bubba Dillon over the right side, and Pittsburgh Steelers are able to bring him down for only a 1-yard gain. Nope, they're going to say he gets no gain, going to bring up a 2nd and 10. And Bubba Dillon, when he came into Detroit, he was a breath of fresh air for this team that didn't have a running back. They do like to use him in the red zone, but in these situations, they certainly like to keep it in the air. They trust Matt Stafford to throw the ball. As we're nearing the end of the first quarter, Stafford dropping back to pass here. Looks out to the left side. It is Whistler Ridgeway who completes it. Makes one man miss. Shakes off another tackler. Gets down into the 18-yard line, but someone is down on the play. Sonny, I didn't see who it was, but that one, another nice pass by Matt Stafford. As we reach the end of the first quarter, Pittsburgh up 14-0, but Detroit inside the red zone.
Well, I know who it was, and it wasn't Artie Burns who whiffed on the tackle there, and that was kind of an embarrassing play for the top 25 player as he misses, and luckily Sean Davis cleans that up.
1st and 10, ball on the 18-yard line. 5 wide receivers out there for Matt Stafford. 3 to the right, 2 to the left. 3-man front for the Pittsburgh Steelers, looking to get a stop for the Detroit Lions inside the red zone. So we have started this second quarter here. Play clock down under 10. Stafford taking the pass, can drop back. Looks over to the left side, has a man wide open. It is Faison, and he is out of bounds. And I think we might be seeing a challenge come down after that play. Boy, that was a close one for the Detroit Lions. Sonny, what did you see on that one?
It looked like he was into me. They're calling it out of bounds on the field, and yet there will not be a challenge to the play. And now Detroit, you're looking at 2nd and 10. Faison running that route instead of one of the two-headed monster, DeGear and Ridgeway. Little surprise that's who they look to down here in the red zone.
Yeah, Faison very similar to Michael Dyer on the side of the Pittsburgh Steelers, that slot wide receiver. He is speedy and can make good plays, but just didn't have the awareness to keep his feet in bounds on this one. 2nd and 10, handoff to Bubba Dillon over the right side. Bubba Dillon's going to be brought down for no gain once again. And now we get to a 3rd and 10, and it is Whistler Ridgeway. And it looks like he is going to be out for the game. Sonny, how big a loss is that for this Detroit Lions team already down 14-0?
Well, the injuries have definitely taken their toll on the Detroit Lions this year. Let's see if Matthew Stafford and company can overcome.
3rd and 10. Stafford looking to convert this one, dropping back to pass. Looks over to the left side, completes to Faison on a little drag route. He has the first down. Faison making up for not keeping his feet in bounds on that touchdown catch. Able to use his breakaway speed and get down to the 4-yard line. 15 yards on that play, and Detroit's knocking on the door. Ball on the 4.
Faison there running that nice route. He beats the coverage and gets open on the outside. Detroit needs to punch this one in here to stay in the hunt.
Yeah, Coach Jim Caldwell saw something he didn't like. He's going to call a timeout here. 5:09 to go. We appreciate everybody tuning in to the Season 25 Super Bowl, the last game of Madden 17. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man, Sonny Weaver, and this is a great battle we have for you. We have a great show continuing on with our halftime program and, of course, this great game we have going on. The main event is Dillon gets the carry on the 4-yard line. He gets close, but not quite in. He's taken down to the 1-yard line. Going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
German coming down into the box, getting the big hit there on Bubba Dillon, keeping him out of the end zone. Let's see if they can do it here again on 2nd down.
2nd and goal, I formation. Stafford tried to sneak it in. Did he get there? He did not. The Pittsburgh Steelers defensive line holding strong. And now 3rd and goal from the 1-yard line. And Sonny, this has been one place the Detroit Lions have not been comfortable once you're inside the 5-yard line.
We talked about it pre-game. Detroit's struggles in the red zone are well documented. Let's see if they can punch it in. 3rd and goal.
I formation, 2 wide receivers. DeGear split out to left, Faison split out to the right. I formation, Bubba Dillon at the top of that I. 3rd and goal. Ball's on about the half-yard line. It's going to be Stafford throwing it. He gets it off to the tight end. Burton sneaking out of the backfield. What a play call by the Detroit Lions. And it may have taken a while, but they find pay dirt, and Detroit has cut into this Pittsburgh Steelers lead as the extra point is up and good. It's a 14-7 ball game.
And that was a big drive there for Matthew Stafford, especially overcoming the adversity of facing stepping out of bounds, allegedly. And so instead, you come back, you pick up those extra yards you need to go, and you get a touchdown. That's going to go a long way. Now, Detroit's defense needs to turn around, step up, try to get the 3 and out here, and get that momentum shifted back over to the Detroit sideline.
14-7, Pittsburgh on top here in the Super Bowl. 4:24 to go here in the second quarter. We got a great game on tap, folks. We can see this Pittsburgh Steelers offense already scored twice, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. We'll see if they can make it 3 for 3 as Dak Prescott looking to avoid going 0-4 in NBL Super Bowls this cycle. He's going to come out under center. He's got 2 wide receivers, Leyland Alston in the backfield, 1st and 10. It's going to be Prescott dropping back to pass. Look, he's got a lot of time. He's able to dump that off underneath to Alston, who cuts it back over the middle, shaking off tacklers left and right, and that's why he is a former league MVP, Sonny. Once he gets the ball in his hands, he is so hard to bring down.
Austin good with the ball in his hands, whether it's getting the handoff or check down throws. He can do it. He can do everything with it. Expect to see a lot more of him here throughout this game.
Bunch formation to the left, 3 wide receivers for Dak Prescott in the pistol, dropping back to pass on 1st down. He looks over to the left side, finds the tight end. Shable is another 1st down, and I think this one might be getting 15 yards tacked on. It is Kirkland with the face mask. That's the last thing you want to do with the #1 offense in the NBL. Give them free yardage. This Pittsburgh offensive line, Sonny, they are giving Dak Prescott all kinds of time.
Pittsburgh's offensive line, we talked about in the AFC Championship game, it was built over multiple seasons. No big free agent finds. They built through the draft. They built through undrafted free agents. They found the guys that could come in over time and develop, and that's what they've done.
Dak Prescott dropping back on 1st and 10, looks over to the right side. It's intercepted by Conley. Detroit forces a turnover. Oh, man, just what Detroit needed. A Sonny Weaver splash play of their own as Conley jumps in front of Bryant and is able to take that one away.
And that was an ill-advised throw. There were actually 2 defenders in the area there. Conley was in front. He was bracketed. There was another defender on the backside. Not a smart play by Dak Prescott.
2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers for Matt Stafford. New life for the Detroit Lions, looking to convert on this one. He's going to toss this out to the flat to Bubba Dillon, who gets out of bounds right around the 37-yard line. Give him 5 yards on that one. But how big, Sonny, is that turnover to settle down the Detroit Lions and get them back in this game?
Well, it's huge, and it goes a long way. We talked about winning over the ball control, ball security offenses, and who's going to come away with the advantage there. Right now, we're tied back up, and we'll have to see how this progresses.
Oh, Matt Stafford, a rare errant throw, looking for the slant route over the left side, incomplete pass. And now you get a 3rd and 5. Something we don't see from Matt Stafford too often is that inaccuracy, but every once in a while it creeps its way up from the gunslinger.
And Matthew Stafford, like you said, the gunslinger, he's not scared of trying to throw it in there. He just maybe was a little late on the throw there that time, but here we go, 3rd and 5, classic Matthew Stafford territory.
3 wide receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Stafford dropping back to pass here on 3rd and 5. He hits Burley on the quick out, and Burley has a 1st down. This Lions offense so tough to stop because of how talented the players are, but you got to admit, Sonny, the play calling is the best in the NBL.
Yeah, they're really good at finding the right play for the right situation. Now, you see it. They use the same concepts here in certain situations, and one thing Pittsburgh does well is they make adjustments, so watch for them to adjust throughout this game.
1st and 10, blitz coming. Stafford gets it off underneath to the tight end. Carney in for Eric Ebron. He's got a lot of room on the left side. He's up to the 30. He's up to the 25, out of bounds, right at the 25-yard line. Carney in for the injured Eric Ebron. Sonny, Matt Stafford loves throwing to his tight end, loves Eric Ebron, but he shows that even with Ebron out with an injury, he's still going to find the tight end.
Carney doing an admirable job replacing Eric Ebron. The one thing I would say is if Eric Ebron's in this game, we're looking at another 7 right now.
1st and 10, pistol formation. Stafford dropping back to pass. Blitz coming over the left side, and he's going to toss his back, cross his body to Bubba Dillon. Makes one man miss. He's inside the 10-yard line to the 6. Oh, Bubba Dillon making plays in the pass game. He may not get a lot of carries, but he's a vital part of this Detroit Lions offense.
Missed tackles are becoming the kind of story of this Pittsburgh Steelers defense so far. We saw Artie Burns miss one earlier. Now we see another one, this time from a middle linebacker. They've got to tighten up right now.
1st and goal. Matt Stafford comes out. He's got 3 wide receivers over to the right side, 1 over to the left. Gilbert Gear all alone on that left side. Phasing coming in motion. It's going to be handoff to Bubba Dillon right up the middle. Look at him fighting for the extra yards, and he is down at the 1-yard line. He did not get in. It looks like we got one of the Pittsburgh Steelers defensive linemen down on that play. Bubba Dillon showing that he can still be a power back, driving forward and getting within 6 inches of the goal line.
And Bubba Dillon comes up big there, kind of getting them right to the goal line. Now, Matthew Stafford's going to have to find a way to punch this one in.
2nd and goal. 2 wide receivers to the left. Bubba Dillon in the backfield. It's going to be hand off to the fullback, Burton. And great early penetration by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Able to bring down Burton right at the 1-yard line. German gets the tackle. And now we get back to this 3rd and goal on the 1-yard line, Sonny. This Lions offense, very potent, but very uncomfortable in this situation.
Red zone is not this forte for this team. They don't have a great use of spacing down here, and that's really what Detroit comes down to. Is they're really good at spacing the field. So when they're outside the red zone, they do a good job of creating space. Down here, they struggle at times. Detroit's defense has not been known to be great in the red zone, though.
Let's see what happens. 3rd and goal. 2 wide receivers to the left, and we hit the 2-minute warning. And it is the safety, Davis, and he's going to be out for the game. Sonny, injuries all around this NBL Super Bowl. Players playing hard. How big a loss is that for the Pittsburgh's defense?
John Davis, the emotional leader of that secondary. That's a big loss here, and we'll have to see if the rest of the secondary can step up.
Especially against a great passing team in Detroit. Faison coming in motion from the left over to the right. 2 wide receivers. Bubba Dillon in the backfield. Ball on the 1-yard line. Detroit looking for 6. 3rd and goal. Faison's just going to go right back to the other side of the field. Go over there with Gilbert DeGear. 3rd and goal. They're going to try to get Bubba Dillon in the end zone. He shakes off one tackle. Oh, did he get in? No, he didn't. What a tackle by Artie Burns at the goal line. And the Detroit Lions are going to be forced to settle for the field goal. What a stand by this Pittsburgh Steelers defense, who is not one of the best in the NBL.
Yeah, that's a big stand there for Pittsburgh. You know, if you're looking at Bubba Dillon right now, you've got to break that tackle and find a way to the end zone, whether you got to go over, under, around him, however you got to get there. You've got a cornerback one-on-one to make it into the end zone and tie this game up. You've got to do that for your team.
What do you think of the play calling there, Sonny? They got in the end zone the first time by Matt Stafford passing the ball inside the 5-yard line. This time they get inside the 5 and they run it 3 times.
Well, we talked about it. Spacing is an issue for this team. They like to have space. They don't have it when they're that close. You know, they do expect something from Bubba Dillon, and that is to be able to score in short yardage situations. He did not hold up his end of the deal there.
14-10, Pittsburgh on top, minute 37 to go. Both teams have timeouts. Pittsburgh all 3, Detroit has 2. And with how potent these offensives are, you could see multiple touchdowns scored here inside of the 2-minute warning. Play action pass forward, Dak Prescott, and he takes a big hit in the backfield. Detroit finally able to get a little pressure on Prescott and put him on his back. It's an incomplete pass. Going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
Yeah, pressure's coming now, and that's one thing you've got to watch is on both these defenses, to get to these quarterbacks is a big deal because otherwise they can pick these teams apart.
5 wide receivers now. Dak Prescott, empty backfield, dropping back to pass on 2nd and 10. He's going to toss it underneath to Bryant, and a great tackle made on the outside, and who else would be making that tackle, Sonny, but Darius Slay. He is still, excuse me, that was Ronald Chamberlain. Slay over there on the coverage, but Chamberlain with the tackle there. This Lions defense hits hard and brings down wide receivers underneath.
Yeah, not seeing a whole lot of Martavius Bryant yet tonight. I'm expecting to see a lot more of him here on this drive before half.
Let's see if Prescott takes a shot on 3rd and 6. Pump fake. He does take a shot. Try and look over top. And Caleb Hayden can't come down with the catch. That one looked like a touch overthrown. Great coverage downfield. And Sonny, we could look at this drive as one of the turning points of this game as Pittsburgh going to give the ball back to Detroit. Detroit has 2 timeouts, and they'll have plenty of time to get downfield and perhaps get a touchdown.
A lot of time left on the clock. Now looking back at that last play, not a big fan of the play, yet not a big fan of the read by Prescott. Now you've got the cornerback out there. He presses him at the line. He beats the press, gets over top. Now there's a gap between the deep safety and the cornerback that you could have put it in. Instead, he leads them deep right into the safety coverage. Really, that was more of a jump ball than anything, and Hayden's not the guy I'm throwing a jump ball to.
Yeah. 1st and 10 now. Matt Stafford under center. He's got 3 tight ends. Play action pass. Stafford, he's going to be taking a shot down the field, looking for Faison into double coverage. What are we seeing here, Sonny? Both quarterbacks looking downfield more. Is this a little bit of adrenaline coming into the NBL Super Bowl, or is this just the play calling and they're trying to get down the field quicker?
I think they're a little bit excited. They're trying to get some separation on both sides. I think Detroit trying to press a little bit to get back in this game, and on top, Pittsburgh wants to try to put this one away early. Both teams need to settle down a little bit.
Three wide receivers for Stafford as he drops back to pass here on 2nd and 10, 47 seconds and counting. He just gets it off before he's hit on this blind side. He finds Burley underneath at the 46-yard line, 40 seconds and counting. 3rd and 4 for the Detroit Lions, who know one of the reasons why they're not using a timeout is they don't want to throw an incomplete pass and give it back to Pittsburgh because they can score quickly.
Yeah, they've got plenty of time here to still put points on the board. Yeah, I got to give a shout out there to Detroit Lions offensive line. Now, he did get hit, but they gave him a lot of time there. Stafford's got to work through his progressions a little bit quicker in that situation. 3
wide receivers to the left, 1 tight end on the right side of that formation. Matt Stafford dropping back to pass on 3rd and 4. He looks to the flat to Burley. Burley trying to fight for that first down. I believe he gets it right at the 49-yard line. It's a first down for the Detroit Lions. 17 seconds ago, they used their second timeout, but look at the drive from Burley getting to the first down marker.
Yeah, Burley the bully there running over top of the cornerback. We talked about it a little bit already in this game, but tackling has been an issue here for Pittsburgh. They have him stop there in front of the line. Instead, he trucks over a cornerback, gets it, and gets the first down. Pittsburgh's going to have to clean up that tackling here in the second half to win this game.
Again, folks, we'll have our NBL Super Bowl halftime show where we'll reveal the top 5 players of the cycle as well as announce our NBL Live Game of the Year award. That'll be coming up in just 17 game seconds, so stick with us for that, and then we'll have the second half of this game. 1st and 10, Stafford dropping back, looks over the middle of the field. He has Donald right down the middle. He's at the 33-yard line, 10 seconds and counting, and Detroit's going to have to use their last timeout. It looked like they were setting up the tight end screen on the right side, Sonny, but Matt Stafford is so good, saw it was covered, and was able to find the wide receiver running a little post route right over the center of the field.
Sniffs out the screen there. You know, I would have, if they're going to kick the field goal, I would have rather seen them run the clock down to 1 second left because crazy things do happen. But nonetheless, good drive there by the Detroit Lions.
The field goal 50-yard attempt is up and is good, and Detroit cuts into a 1-point game, 14-13. Sonny, to your point, we have already seen Caleb Hayden take one back. I expect to see the squib kick here. Keep it out of the hands of the dynamic Caleb Hayden. 14-13, Pittsburgh on top. 5 seconds to go. It is indeed a squib kick picked up by the tight end Shable, who goes down to the 46-yard line. So now with 3 seconds to go, Sonny, the wide receivers that Pittsburgh has, you could see a deep shot here and a jump ball for somebody like Martavis Bryant.
Yeah, that's dangerous. Like I said, Detroit probably should let that run down a little bit more.
Prescott rolling out to his right, trying to buy some time. He lobs it up near the end zone, looking for the jump ball. It's intercepted. Conley's second pick of the day, and that is going to take us to halftime, folks. Your score right at the half. The Pittsburgh Steelers up 14-13. What a game we have going so far. Sonny, your thoughts on the first half of play?
Well, thoughts on the first half right now. I think Pittsburgh came out hot doing exactly what Pittsburgh does, but Detroit's kind of settled in. They've got back into their game plan. Matthew Stafford completing 76% of his throws right now. I'd like to see the running game in Detroit get a little bit more involved here in the second half. And if I'm Pittsburgh, I go back to that. Le'Veon Austin was having a lot of success early in this game, but since then, we have not seen much.
All right, let's get to this halftime show. And before we announce the top 5 players of the cycle, let's announce the winner of our NBL Live Game of the Year. We put a poll on Twitter as to which NBL Live game deserved the award for Season 25. And this one, I think, Sonny, was a no-brainer. It is the Week 11 matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Denver Broncos. Boy, this game was back and forth. The Denver Broncos with a late 77-yard touchdown with a minute and a half left to put them up by 1. But San Francisco, 2 plays later, they find a 75-yard touchdown of their own to get a 35-28 win over the Denver Broncos. Sonny, this was an unbelievable game. Bomber and I were on the call and we're losing our minds. And the Denver Broncos and owner Porter, in this game they went to 0-7. They finished 0-8, I believe, in this cycle on NBL Live. The Porter curse alive and well.
Exactly what you said. The Porter curse alive and well. Do we have this stat on that, OSU?
If it's live and well, it is.
No, I believe it's something like 0-8
or 0-9.
0-9 on NBL Live. I mean, the guy just can't catch a break. You see that late bomb and you think, oh my God, he's going to break the curse. But not so fast, my friends. He comes out and and honestly, it was kind of just one of those things that happen. And sometimes you can't control fate. And as fate would have it, John Blevins, Deca Dog, he comes away with the big win. And poor Porter, he's sitting there. 0-9.
The one win, San Francisco 49ers, the big win on NBL Live. Congratulations to those two. What a great show here in season 25. All right, let's get to it. Let's reveal the top 5 players of the Madden 17 cycle. Oh, this is an exciting part. I haven't even watched the video. We have no idea who it is. At number 5, Sonny, it's Khalil Mack of the Oakland Raiders. Linebacker. This dude is a stud. We got a quote here from owner Hop calling him the leader of our team and heart of Raider Nation. This guy was an absolute stud for the Oakland Raiders. So athletic both in the pass game and in the ground game. Khalil Mack, clearly one of the best players in the NBL.
Mack had a great cycle. He kind of lined up all over the field, linebacker and defensive tackle at times, but he found a way to get to the quarterback, wreak havoc. And if you were an opposing offense, you always had to account for Khalil Mack and where he was on the field. Lots of pressure to the quarterback, just terrorizing the AFC West at times. And one of those guys that I think when we look back at the cycle, he was a game changer, and that's not debatable.
68 sacks in the cycle. And he's a Pro Bowler in every season here in Madden 17. This dude was a stud, and he comes in at number 5 on the top 25 players of this Madden 17 cycle. What a player for the Oakland Raiders. Let's go to number 4, see who's going to come in the top 5 of this ranking, and it is from the Washington Redskins, Olivier Vernon, defensive end. 2 defensive players already in the top 5, Sonny. And another player who managed to wreak havoc, especially on quarterbacks. This guy had a knack for getting sacks. He's the highest rated defensive player in Madden 17 when it finished. And this guy was an absolute stud for a Washington team that ended up winning a Super Bowl in season 24.
Yeah, Olivier Vernon. What can I say about this guy? This guy was the best defensive player of the cycle. You could easily make an argument he was the best flat-out player of this cycle. Now, he is a Washington Redskin now, but he really cut his teeth in New York, and that defensive line was ferocious at times. And that really comes back to what Olivier Vernon was able to do. 85 sacks over 6 seasons. That's impressive.
Yeah, and a 6-time Pro Bowler, and he goes over to Washington and gets himself a ring on that defensive line. What a stud, and he comes in at number 4 of our Madden 17 rankings. Again, folks, if you're just joining us, we are at halftime of the Super Bowl. Pittsburgh up 14-13. We'll be getting you out to the game after we finish up revealing the top 5 players of this cycle here in the NBL. Let's see who comes in at number 3. Who else? It is Ezekiel Elliott of the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, this guy coming out of Ohio State, a rookie, and he just continues to put up numbers. He's got help from that Dallas Cowboys offensive line. Fletcher Cox saying he's a once-in-a-lifetime type of runner that you can't stop. And, Sonny, I think everybody in the NFC East would agree with that statement.
Yeah, the NFC East, I think Gubb especially would talk about it after this year and what Elliott did to him and his Washington Redskins. At times, Zeke was the best player on the field, and that's something you can't deny. The guy single-handedly carried this team early on in this cycle, taking them to a couple Super Bowl appearances, along with Dak Prescott, in fact. Now, 7,300 yards, 78 touchdowns, that makes him one of the best that we've ever seen.
Yeah, 78 touchdowns on the ground. He continues to make good work, and I know whoever gets to be the Dallas Cowboys in Madden 18, they're going to have fun with Ezekiel Elliott. He is, I think, the best running back in the Madden games by far, and he comes in at number 3 here in the NBL top 25 players of the 2017 Madden cycle. There are 2 big names that haven't been called yet, and I think they're both going to be coming up at number 2. Who else but Big Ben Roethlisberger, quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now retired, but this guy was at the helm for Pittsburgh, led them in their most formative years. Antonio Brown saying if Ben is not number 1 on this list, then he got snubbed. And he comes in at number 2. But Ben Roethlisberger in Pittsburgh, Sonny, your Cincinnati Bengals have to face off against this guy twice a year. How good was he?
I was getting really scared there for a moment, OSU. I hadn't seen him yet. I thought he would be high. Wasn't sure where he'd go. I was hoping he wasn't gone and forgotten, but nonetheless, he ends up right here at number 2. I was on the losing end of a couple of his best performances we saw in this cycle. The guy could do it all. He was impossible to take down in the pocket. Won himself a couple Super Bowls, a couple MVPs, and really was one of the best players that we've seen.
Yeah, back-to-back Super Bowl champions in season 19 and 20, and then MVP in season 20 and 22, not to mention all the stats he put up and leading the Pittsburgh Steelers. Dak Prescott looking to live in his legacy and get a ring for himself, and now we get to it. The number one player in the Madden 17 cycle here, and I think it's no surprise who's going to come in at number one. It is Matthew Stafford. Sonny, I know you might be cringing a little bit over there. You've been a big critic of Matt Stafford, but there is no doubt as to what this guy has done here in the NBL, leading Detroit not only to a Super Bowl in season 21, 31,000 passing yards, 228 touchdowns, and a QBR average of 120. This guy has been a stat machine, and he has led his team to a championship and looking for another one tonight.
Check the stats, 31,000 yards, 228 touchdowns. The guy was impressive. As much as I would like to knock the man here up on his pedestal, he stands as the best player from this cycle. The Detroit Lions are built around Matthew Stafford, and Matthew Stafford has delivered.
Yeah, Matt Stafford, the number one player of the Madden 17 cycle here. The countdown has been fully revealed. Again, we'll be, you go over to the NBL Top 25 Twitter, you can see all the graphics, again, done by our new AME Award winner, Kyle Matt Miller. What a guy, and what a countdown, Sonny. This was an unbelievable time, and I think we all agree who number one is.
Yeah, number one is definitely Sonny Weaver.
Oh, stop it. Get out of here. We're about ready to send it back out for the second half, but Sonny Weaver, tell me what you're looking to see from both teams in the second half.
Well, I want to see adjustments. I want to see Pittsburgh actually tackle someone for a change. I want to see Pittsburgh get back to running the ball. If I'm Detroit, I'd like to try to get a little more pressure in Dak Prescott's face. We saw him get to him a couple times, made some errant throws when that happened. And again, I want to see Detroit run the ball a little bit. We haven't seen much of it yet. Bubba Dillon only has a couple carries so far in this game. We got to get Bubba Dillon going in Detroit if you want to win this game.
And we are ready to send it back out, folks. Thanks for joining us for the halftime show here for the Super Bowl in season 25. Let's get right back to the game. It is 14-13, Pittsburgh on top. This Detroit Lions team, though, a big field goal before the half to cut it down to a one-point game. Pittsburgh stormed out to a 14-0 lead, but Detroit with 13 unanswered points and a chance to put more up as they're going to take the ball on the 25-yard line. 1st and 10, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 to the left for Matt Stafford. He's got Bubba Dillon in the backfield. He'll be dropping back to passing on 1st and 10, and he finds Burley right over the middle. This kid coming in, no Whistler Ridgeway after he got hurt in the first half. Burley has been targeted a couple times by Matt Stafford, Sonny, and he is not disappointed with another catch on the day.
The value of Matthew Stafford is his parts are interchangeable. You take out Whistler Ridgeway, you insert Burley, yet nothing happens as far as a drop in production, and that's what makes Stafford special.
1st and 10, handoff to Bubba Dillon right up the middle, and a nice hole. Finally, a nice job by the Detroit Lions offensive line, able to create a hole for Bubba Dillon. He gets 8 yards right up the gut. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 2.
And we talked about it at the halftime. We got to get a running game going if you're Detroit. They do that here. They get 8 yards on the play. Big pickup there.
Yeah, those numbers are not a mistake, folks. The Pittsburgh Steelers' worst passing defense in the NBL. The number 25 rushing defense. So Detroit looking to take advantage as Stafford finds Carney over on the right side. Again, if you missed the pregame show, no Eric Ebron. He has been hurt, has missed the majority of the playoffs. Carney coming in and filling in admirably as he has yet another catch. In Detroit already into enemy territory. Ball on the 41-yard line. 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Stafford dropping back to pass. He gets hit from behind and he goes down. Golson coming around on the cornerback blitz. The blind side didn't pick him up, and it's another Sonny Weaver splash play. A 7-yard loss on 1st down.
And one thing you can't do if you're Pittsburgh is rest on your laurels. It's 2nd and 17, but for Matthew Stafford, you might as well just call that 1st and 6. Because he can convert these long downs and distances.
Shotgun formation for Matt Stafford. 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the right, 1 to the left. Bubba Dillon and Jones in the backfield of Stafford switching up the plays. He'll be dropping back to pass here on 2nd and long. Looking over to the right side. What a throw and what a catch by Burley. Diving, oh my Sonny. Burley wasn't even out of his break yet. Stafford felt the pressure coming. He was able to get rid of the ball. And Burley with a diving catch. It's a 1st down for the Lions.
And then, like you said, Stafford throws that ball before he ever comes out of his break. Looked like it was going to go past Burley, but at the last minute, Burley breaks on the ball, and a big catch there for Detroit.
That's called trusting your receiver. Play action pass, and Jones wide open coming out of the backfield. Has one man to miss. Shake and bake into the end zone. The Detroit Lions with some flashy moves, getting down the field. Jones a little shifty footwork, and he's able to give Detroit their first lead of the game as they await this extra point, looking to put them up by 6. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is good. Detroit's up 20-14.
And coming out of half, one thing we talked about, Pittsburgh has to tackle better, and yet we see another missed tackle. Now, when you talk about who that was, it's Sean Davis's replacement. And we talk about what was the impact of Sean Davis going out early in this game. Right there you have it. That's 6 points on the board.
He had 2 big injuries in the first half for Detroit. Whistler Ridgeway going down with a shoulder issue. He will not return. On the flip side, a hip pointer for Sean Davis. He will not return for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Detroit, though, what a drive to start the half, up 20-14. Now this Pittsburgh Steelers offense coming back out. Detroit looking to get another stop as they were able to get one just before the half and get the ball back. That's how they were able to kick that field goal and cut it to a 1-point game. Dak Prescott in the shotgun, 3 wide receivers, 2 over to the left, 1 to the right. He's got Olsen and Schable in the backfield on 1st and 10. The Lions defense moving all around, trying to confuse Dak Prescott and force another turnover. He's thrown 2 picks in this game. As on 1st down, he finds Dyer on the quick out to the 31-yard line. Give him 6 yards on that one. Going to bring up a 2nd and 4.
Yeah, and you start talking about Dak Prescott and what he can do. He doesn't want to go 0-4. You got to wonder if that's weighing on his mind at this point. 0-4 in Super Bowls would not be the legacy I want to leave.
Shotgun formation for Prescott. He's got 4 wide receivers out there. Prescott dropping back to pass on 2nd down. He's just going to toss this out to Leyland Alston out of the flat. He puts the ball on the ground, and Detroit's going to recover, and Callaway with the recovery. Sonny, we mentioned Leyland Alston having troubles holding on to the ball. The 3rd turnover of the day forced by the Detroit Lions defense. It's a fumble, and it's a Sonny Weaver splash play.
And you know what? We've talked about it. I mentioned it in the AFC Championship game. Alston has ball security problems. And here we see it when the lights get on. He goes ahead and puts it on the turf.
Oh, Bubba Dillon, big run over the right side. He's inside the red zone to the 16-yard line. Give him 22 on the play, and the momentum has completely shifted, folks. Pittsburgh stormed out to a 14-0 lead. 20 unanswered points by the Detroit Lions, and they're looking to put more up as they're inside the red zone. 1st and 10. It's another handoff to Bubba Dillon over the left side. He makes a man miss, and he's going to get up to the 7-yard line. 9 yards on that play. It is all Detroit Lions right now.
Yeah, Detroit, you can feel the momentum. It's definitely shifting right now. Pittsburgh right now, you've got to expect you're going to give up 3. Bend, but don't break here. 3 on the board is not a backbreaker.
2nd and 1, 5 wide receivers. Burley coming in motion. He's going to take the handoff on the jet sweep. He has the 1st down, trips over what appears to be nothing. Oh, he had the touchdown, but appeared to get his cleats caught in the turf. Goes down at the 1-yard line, which is, oddly enough, what Detroit really didn't want is to put this ball on the 1-yard line. It's a 1st down nonetheless.
Yeah, falling down at the 1-yard line, if I'm Detroit, or if you're Detroit, I should say, you probably wanted to keep the ball a little bit further away. You'd probably rather have been tackled for a loss on that play than get into the 1, because they've had some serious struggles so far in these playoffs scoring from here.
I formation, 2 wide receivers. Going to be hand off to Dillon right up the middle, and wow, that I wouldn't call that intentional, but boy, he goes down really easily at the 4-yard line. Looked like he tried to find a hole. There was nothing there. Lots of white jerseys in the backfield.
Wondering if they didn't do that on purpose, actually, to give Stafford a little bit more room to work with.
2nd and goal, handoff to Bubba Dillon over the left side. He's trying to get in the end zone, and he doesn't. He goes down to the 1-yard line, Sonny, and looked like he had an opportunity left or right of the tackler. He instead goes straight at him, and he goes down at the 1.
Yeah, well, so much for that idea that they were giving him room to work for. Instead, we're right back here at the 1-yard line. And here we go. We're going to see possibly 3 runs again in the red zone. Interesting play calling.
3rd and goal, 3 tight ends for Matt Stafford. It's a toss play for Bubba Dillon. He's got a lot of room. 3rd time's the charm. Bubba Dillon into the end zone. Boy, it's never easy with this Detroit Lions running game, but they find a way to get to pay dirt, and they extend their lead as we await this extra point. Ball is down. Kick is up. It is good, and Detroit, 27 unanswered points. They got a 2-score lead.
And now, Dak Prescott. What do you do? How do you respond? There's plenty of time on the clock. There's plenty of time.
Is that 0-3 starting to weigh on him a little more now?
I think it's getting heavy. So Dak Prescott, does he come out? Does he lead his team? Or does he wilt under the pressure? Something to watch here going forward.
I do know heavy, and I'm sure that Dak Prescott has all the weight in the world on his shoulders right now. 0-3 in NBL Super Bowl is looking to avoid going 0-4. Prescott dropping back to pass on 1st and 10, and he throws an interception to Kirkland. Oh, just what you didn't want was a pick on the first pass after Detroit goes up 27-14. And Sonny, it's another splash play. This Detroit defense has forced 4 turnovers. And I don't know about you, but I think in Detroit, they might have started partying.
Yeah, if you're Detroit right now, you're feeling pretty good. Now, one thing you don't want to do here, though, is turn the ball right back over. It's easy to get excited after a turnover. Try to take a shot and just give it right back. I would take a conservative approach here. 3 on the board at least makes this a 2-score game, and a very tough 2-score game at that. Just take it easy.
Play action pass. Matt Stafford dropping back to pass on 1st and 10. Short field from the 30-yard line. He finds Burton in the flat. He's going to go down at the 25-yard line. Give him 5 yards on that play, folks. This was a tight game. Pittsburgh stormed out to a 14-0 lead. Detroit, 27 unanswered points behind 4 turnovers forced by this defense. 3 interceptions and a fumble. The latest one, Kirkland picking off Dak Prescott for the 3rd time. 2nd and 5. It's a handoff to Bubba Dillon over the right side. He's got a big hole. Nobody's catching Bubba Dillon. Have yourself a day, young fella. His 2nd touchdown of the day. And Detroit, the route is on. They're up 33-14.
Starting to wonder if Bubba Dillon is looking out and saying, hey, NBL Live Super Bowl MVP has a nice ring to it. What if I just took this one over and put it away? And it looks like he's taking it into his own hands at this point.
Yeah, he did not make the top 25 players of the cycle. I think NBL Super Bowl MVP would be good. Consolation prize as Pittsburgh in an unfamiliar spot, down 20, 34-14. And while we have a moment here in the 3rd quarter, we want to give a big shout out to our graphics and pregame sponsor, and one of our NBL EA Access tournament sponsors, web3ks.com. They do that overlay you see here on NBL Live and a ton of other of our graphics for us. So if you or anyone you know needs graphics done for an affordable price, head over to web3ks.com, the leaders in affordable graphic design. It goes from bad to worse. Callaway's 2nd sack on the day. Prescott goes down for an 8-yard loss, and the wheels on the bus have fallen off for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, the wheels hitting the ground at this point. Not sure there's enough in the tank to recover. Detroit Lions defense playing really well at this point.
Deep shot looking for Dyer, and there's an injury on the play, and I think it might be Dak Prescott. 3rd and 18. This Pittsburgh team, they've been so dominant all year. They get to the Super Bowl and they run into the Detroit Lions, who have been equally dominant. Both teams a couple losses on the year, and it was indeed Dak Prescott going down. If you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you might hear the rumblings of that's a good thing, but it's never good losing your starting quarterback. As on 3rd and 18, wow, a conversion. Tom Savage coming in and completing a 19-yard pass play to Schable. Sonny, what is the loss of Dak Prescott, who has thrown 3 interceptions in this game, going to do for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, at this point, I'm not sure it's going to do a whole lot. You almost even have to wonder if that's a little bit of a loser's limp. Sometimes when you're in a game, it's a little easier to come back out. But when you're losing as big as they are, it's tough to come back out onto the field.
Well, Tom Savage has come in and completed 2 passes, and we're getting word from the sideline, Sonny. Prescott's day is over. The shoulder tear bug has bitten in this game. No more Dak Prescott. So I wonder if statistically, does that mean if the Steelers lose this game, he goes to 0-4, or is he going to try to make the play that? Well, he didn't get to play the rest of the second half as Tom Savage gets hit on 1st down.
Well, I think if you're in the majority of the game, you're going to get the credit for that win or lose. Although if you get the win at this point, Tom Savage is going to get a whole statue created for him here in Pittsburgh.
2nd and 10, ball on the 45-yard line as we're nearing the end of the 3rd quarter. Savage dropping back to pass. Rush is coming, looks over the middle of the field, has a man. It is Michael Dyer. No, that is not Michael Dyer coming down with a catch. It is Thomas coming up with that one. We've hit the 4th quarter. Pittsburgh driving a little bit here. This game is not over, folks. They can't kill the clock until under the 2-minute warning, so there's plenty of time left. And Pittsburgh, with Tom Savage, they look almost rejuvenated.
Yeah, sometimes the backup comes in. He's feisty, waiting for his chance to play. And here we got Tom Savage.
Nope, and there goes that one. That was fun.
Yep.
It was fun while it lasted. Lawton with the interception. Savage throwing his first pick. Sonny, has the party started in Detroit at this point?
Yeah, I think the champagne's popping, and they may be getting those Gatorade buckets ready. Obviously, you don't want to dump those too early, but at this point, it does appear that Detroit is going to go on and win this Super Bowl.
First and 10, it's a handoff to Bubba Dillon. Gets a couple over the left side, 5 yards on the play. Sonny, I don't know if you remember. I think it was LSU, Kentucky. LSU, it was back in like 2002. They dumped the Gatorade on Les Miles, and Kentucky came back and threw a Hail Mary at the end to win the game. You never can celebrate too early because you never know what will happen.
Well, you don't want to celebrate too early, but at the same time, 20 points in 5 minutes and 30 seconds, especially with the way Detroit's offense has been able to eat up clock, staying on the field for long drives. I think this one's going to be over, and I think it's going to be over here in the next minute or two.
2nd and 5, 4 wide receivers. Burley coming in motion from the left to the right. Bubba Dillon in the backfield on 2nd down. It's going to be a handoff to Bubba Dillon right up the middle. Pittsburgh able to get a stop on him. Dillon, have yourself a day. 14 carries, 76 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 3rd and 8 now for the Detroit Lions. Pittsburgh needing a stop and needing a stop badly.
Yeah, you know, too little too late, though, as far as getting the stop. Even with it, it's just a long road back.
Stafford throws it on 3rd and 8, and Faison with the sliding catch, and that's just been the sort of day for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It looked like a bad throw by Matt Stafford, but Faison able to pick that one off the turf, and Detroit gets a first down. And if the champagne wasn't popping earlier, folks, it's popping now. Thanks to everybody tuning into NBL Live. I'm OSU. I'm hanging out with my man Sonny Weaver. The season 25 Super Bowl. Detroit in control here in the 4th quarter as Dillon gets a couple yards on that one up to the 31-yard line. Stick with us to the end of the game, folks. We'll have that selection for the NBL Live Player of the Game, the Super Bowl MVP for season 25. Sonny, right now, Bubba Dillon looks like the front runner.
Yeah, Bubba Dillon's having a great game here. He's come up big in the second half, scoring 2 touchdowns and really setting this team up for the chance to win this game.
2nd and 9. Stafford, 3 tight ends, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. So we had a toss play to Bubba Dillon over the right side. He's got one man to beat, and he cannot beat him. Nice open field tackle in the backfield. That's going to be a 2-yard loss. Ryan Shazier making an impact in this game late, but this Pittsburgh Steelers team, the Detroit Lions, 34 unanswered points. And Sonny, does it go back to this Pittsburgh Steelers defense? Really just showed up and continued to play as one of the worst defenses in the NBL.
Well, you know, you talk about the defense, and it really comes down to tackling. They couldn't tackle in the first half. They had a couple big misses in the second half, and that was...
Wow. That's the day it's been for the Pittsburgh Steelers, though. That should, in no way should that not be intercepted, and they find a way to bungle that one as it falls to the ground, and Detroit is going to have to punt on this one. 3:40 to go. Pittsburgh needing 3 scores. This offense can score quickly, Sonny, but I don't know how quickly they can do it, as this punt's going to be taken right around the 20-yard line. It's going to get up to the 25, and the mountain that is ahead of this Pittsburgh Steelers team, they need a miracle, and they need one fast.
Well, you talk about scoring quickly. I think Artie Burns was thinking pick 6. Matthew Stafford rolling right, throws back across his body, which is the cardinal sin of quarterbacks, and he throws it up, and Artie Burns, it hits him right in the chest, and he fumbles it around for 5 yards, and that's a rough one to swallow.
Shotgun formation for Tom Savage into the game for the injured Dak Prescott. 4 wide receivers for Savage to drop back to pass here on 1st and 10. All the time in the world. He looks over the middle of the field, and that's another dangerous throw. Looking for Schable on the right side. It falls to the ground. Luckily incomplete. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 10.
And there's a reason Tom Savage is a backup. He comes out hot to start. I think the adrenaline kind of fueled that, but as he settles in here, he's realizing he's in a Super Bowl game that he's way behind, and he's got to try to do something with.
2nd and 10. Savage gets hit. Ball comes out. It's an incomplete pass. Then bring up a 3rd and 10. And Sonny, I don't know if you can see that, but it looks like those black and gold jerseys are headed to the exit. It has been a rough game. 34 unanswered points. And we've talked about the defense, Sonny, but a lot of this also has to be put on Dak Prescott and the 4 turnovers the offense had given up under Dak Prescott. It allowed Detroit to really climb back into this game. It looked like Pittsburgh was set up for the runaway, as on 3rd and 10, he manages to complete a pass. I don't think Hayden has the first down, though, at the 36-yard line. Wow, they gave it to him. I think they might just be feeling a little sorry for the Steelers at this point. What a turn of events, though, Sonny. Pittsburgh up 14-0, and it has been all downhill since then.
Yeah, the officiating crew's been bad all night with spotting the ball. We saw the call of face and out earlier. We saw what should have been a Bubba Dillon touchdown earlier gets called stopped at the 1 yard line. They have not spotted this ball well.
1st and 10, Savage dropping back to pass. Rush coming from the blind side. He manages to get off and completes it to Martavis Bryant. And we haven't seen a lot from Bryant in this game. He has been well covered by the Detroit Lions. He's a guy, though, that Pittsburgh needs to get the ball, especially late here. Only his 3rd catch on the day.
Yeah, Bryant got shut down early in this game. We said he was going to be a guy to watch. Instead, he disappears on the game, and that's unfortunate.
Savage dropping back, past midfield, looks over the middle of the field. He has a man. It is Thomas with another catch. He is down to the 12-yard line. Pittsburgh, they're not going to go away easily as they moved inside the red zone as we near the 2-minute warning.
Pushing the ball across the field. Thomas still has a little bit left in the tank. He can't get in and out of his breaks as quick as he used to be, but still a good route runner. Big body receiver that can get after it.
Demarius Thomas looking for a little life here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh down 20 as we near the 2-minute warning. Savage quick drop. Looks over the middle. He has a man. It is Caleb Hayden with the catch at the 4-yard line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 3. Sonny, we have 1:57 to go. Pittsburgh has driven down with Tom Savage. Do they have a chance?
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I think Detroit's getting ready to start dumping some ice buckets here because this one's over.
It's going to be a handoff to Laylon Alston right up the middle, and Alston, who had a key fumble earlier, gets nothing there. 1:50 and counting, 3rd and 2 for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, folks, we'll have that pick for the NBL Live Player of the Game here for broadcast number 119. Our last game of Madden 17, but hit that subscribe button, folks. We'll be releasing content all the way up to Madden 18. And then tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern Time, we have our team selection show right here on the network. You don't want to miss it. It's a great show. It's on 3rd and 2. Tom Savage has a Super Bowl touchdown pass. It's to Martavis Bryant. Who else? And they have cut this to a 2-score game, 34-20. They may not come back in this game, but what a nice drive for Tom Savage, career backup for both Ben Roethlisberger and Dak Prescott, coming in and getting his moment.
Yeah, I guess we can start handing out, feel-good participation ribbons because that's about all that's worth right now.
You cynic. You're such a cynic. It's the Sonny Weaver classic answer.
That's all I got. That's all I got.
I mean, not denying. I appreciate that, not denying it. 34-21 as Detroit recovers that extra point. That's probably going to do it in this game. Sonny, while we have a moment here, as we assume Detroit's just going to try to run this one out, Pittsburgh may use their timeouts, they may not, but let's take a look back at the Madden 17 cycle. Where does this Pittsburgh Steelers stand in the grand scheme of NBL history as one of the best dynasties in a cycle?
That's something to think about. It's hard to start putting teams into levels and start trying to place them in the hierarchy because different eras, I think you hear that term used often, different eras, there's different things that happen in each era, and so it's tough to place. I think Detroit has done a really good job, and I think Pittsburgh as well has done a very good job, but obviously when we look back on this cycle, I think Detroit may have edged them out.
Well, and let's just look back at season 25. Pittsburgh coming out of the AFC North. They won that division battle in Week 17 against your Cincinnati Bengals to get another division title. This team was very good all year long. It's just, it turns out when you get into a one-game matchup for a Super Bowl, it all comes down to which team comes out playing better, and Detroit was able to do not just a little more, a lot more against this Pittsburgh Steelers team.
Yeah, and I think, like you said earlier, Pittsburgh gets exposed for a weak defense, and Dak Prescott picks a rough time to have a bad game, although, when you look at the playoffs, there were some indications that could happen. He had a little bit of a letdown game playing Oakland earlier in the playoffs, and that could have been a precursor to what we saw tonight.
3rd and 9, Stafford in the shotgun with Bubba Dillon as he changed up the play. 1:15 to go. Pittsburgh has used 2 of their timeouts, looking to get a stop here. You never know what will happen, folks. It's on 3rd down. Dillon's going to get the carry. Dillon's going to be brought down at the 43-yard line. Timeout called. Detroit's going to be forced to punt. It's not quite over. We've seen this Pittsburgh Steelers offense score quickly, not just today, but in games throughout the NBL Live catalog as the Pittsburgh Steelers and owner Lip, they know how to score quickly, and they're going to get the ball on the 20-yard line, needing some help. Sonny, I think by some help, we mean a lot of help.
I believe by some help or a lot of help, you mean miracle.
Maybe there are angels in the end zone. Shout out that by the way, that movie, criminally underrated. I thought it wasn't a bad follow-up to Angels in the Outfield.
I'm gonna disagree on that.
What? Oh, come on! Maybe I like all Angels movies. I mean, what do you think of Air Bud?
I'm a fan of Air Bud.
See,
that's a little bit of
just
an
the
underrated
first
movie.
one though. Just the first one. You can't get all the. They've made a lot of them. We've switched to talking about Air Bud. That's how rough it is here on NBL Live. First and 10, Savage stepping up in the pocket, looks over to the right side. He throws an interception, and the party has started in Detroit, or continued. Detroit's going to walk away with the last Super Bowl of Madden 17 here in season 25, 34-21. Sonny, this Detroit Lions team came to play today.
They definitely came to play. Matthew Stafford having a good game, but not the game you expected. I think overall it was the defense who really won this for the Detroit Lions.
Oh, this is exactly where every quarterback wants to be. Victory formation here. No timeouts for the Pittsburgh Steelers. They cannot stop the clock. Detroit's going to come away with their second Super Bowl of this cycle. They end up winning the rubber match between these two franchises in the Super Bowl, and Dak Prescott goes to 0-4 in NBL Super Bowls.
0-4, that's a rough number. You're feeling a little bit like the Buffalo Bills. It's one thing to get there. To kind of melt down in them is not the way to go. In fact, Dak Prescott, I believe, lost 2 of those Super Bowls against these Pittsburgh Steelers. So in a weird...
well, I'm just wondering if there's a Porter curse, is there also a Prescott curse?
There may be. It's a weird, ironic term that Pittsburgh would live and die with Dak Prescott. They win because of him, and they lose because of him.
The clock is running down, and Detroit, wow, what a win for this Detroit Lions franchise. They're going to walk away as the champions in season 25. I want to remind everyone, hit that subscribe button. We'll be having our team selection show tomorrow night at 6 o'clock Eastern, where you'll get to see where all the owners go in Madden 18. But zeros are on the clock. The Detroit Lions are your season 25 Super Bowl champions. And this one, well-deserved. Matt Stafford, what a career he has had in Madden 17. And these Detroit Lions deserve to be champions here in the last season of Madden 17.
Yeah, and this one belongs to the Lions, as my good friend Marty Brenneman would say. It's been a great season for Detroit and a great cycle at that, and they close it out with the Super Bowl. Not much more you can ask for.
Your final score from the Super Bowl, the Detroit Lions with a big victory, 35-20. Wow, it's unbelievable to think about, or 34-21, how many points the Detroit Lions were able to rattle off. It's those turnovers that ended up biting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Their defense couldn't hold them. And it turns out, I mean, their defense may not be one of the best. It actually is one of the worst, Sonny. But it's hard to be successful when you're set up with so many short fields.
Yeah, it just kind of got away from them a little bit. Some different things happened throughout the game, especially a lot of turnovers that cost them late. I don't know if I put it on the Pittsburgh Steelers defense overall, but the tackling definitely didn't help.
And now we get to pick our NBL Live player of the game here for season 25 Super Bowl, the season 25 Super Bowl MVP. And Sonny, if we could give it to the entire Detroit Lions defense, we absolutely would. But Bubba Dillon, wow, what a game he had. He'd be my choice.
Yeah, I agree. I would give it to the defense first if we're not into doing that, which I still think we should go ahead and start doing that. But I understand it. It's definitely going to be Bubba Dillon. He iced that game late. He carried them to the title. Running games win championship, and that's what we saw tonight.
And Sonny, I think we have a special guest here on the Super Bowl postgame show. I think we have the winning owner of the season 25 Super Bowl owner, Bomber. Congratulations. What a win today. Tell me what you're feeling right now.
Well, I mean, I just got off the phone with LeBron James. The King called me. He said, Kings recognize Kings. I said, they sure do. I still don't know who you are. He said, not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 rings. Because you know who else got 5 rings? My San Antonio Spurs got 5. I got 5. We're feeling good in Detroit right now. We're shooting Ebron back some flowers. Man, he didn't even make the trip. He was so hurt. Killebrew was hurt. Hausler was out. Ridgeway went out early, but you know what they got? I said it last time. We got that ticker. We got that heart, and that's what came and showed out today, and everybody was doubting Matt Stafford.
All right, let me ask you this, Bomber, with how depleted your team was injury-wise, especially on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, your team was able to force 5 turnovers.
I know.
How did they do it?
Get off me. Yeah. So, our defense, they're all over me. Our defense played great. They came together. We signed a guy off a practice squad named Darby, and this is a true story.
I'm sorry, Darby.
And he played 15 snaps tonight. So it was a group effort. Guys were pulling off practice squads of other teams heading into the playoffs. You don't expect that. When you're 13-3, you expect more. You expect your team to be intact. We weren't intact. We were hurting, but I said, you know what? We got heart, and we're going to come out and play hard. We did it against Dallas. We did it against Chicago, and we got off to a slow start versus Pittsburgh.
Wow.
When we talking about those penalties, we had face masks, we had fumbles. DeGear fumbled the ball. You know, he's our veteran. He's our leader. We love him. Mistakes happen. I told him, shrug it off, and we came out in that second half and really balled out.
Wow. Congratulations, Bomber. We're going to let you get back to the party, but you're the season 25 Super Bowl champion. Congratulations, and good luck as we head into Madden 18.
All right, man. Go Lions.
All right, Sonny. That's going to put a bow on season 25, and more than that, a bow on the Madden 17 cycle. Give me your final thoughts as we move into the new game.
It's been a good year. It's been another great year in NBL. You know, I've been here from the start for the most part, and you just see it progress year over year. The play gets better, and the content gets better, and I'm excited for tomorrow night. We're going to basically be kicking off Madden 18. We're going to get the team selection show, one of the better shows we do all year. There's going to be a lot of things that I think are going to take people by surprise. Some guys moving, some guys with some new teams you've never seen them with before, setting up for Madden 18, which will be the best year of NBL that you've ever seen.
Yeah, guys, again, hit that subscribe button so you know when we're going live. We're going to be doing that team selection show tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Eastern time, right here on the network. And then after that, we'll be dropping a lot of content in between the start of Madden 18 and tomorrow's team selection show. A bunch of final minutes will be coming out. We may be having some podcasts. And then, of course, that EA Access tournament, our 12-hour stream on August 17th. That tournament running the 17th through the 21st. Tons of content, even though we're done with Madden 17. But we appreciate each and every person who has been on the network, everybody who has tuned into any one of our NBL live games or any one of our podcasts. We wouldn't be here without you. For my co-host, Sonny Weaver, I'm OSU. Your final score, once again, the Detroit Lions are champions of the NBL in season 25, 34-21. We'll see you tomorrow night for the team selection show and in Madden 18 right here on NBL Live.